I'm Dana Wollman with Laptop Magazine, and I'm here with the 13-inch MacBook Pro from Apple. Well, at first glance, it might look like the 13-inch MacBook Pro is just a refresh of last generation 13-incher, but in fact there are a few changes. One is that it's now rebranded. It's now called the MacBook Pro instead of a MacBook, which means it has all the same design amenities as the 15-inch, 17-inch versions. Granted, the 17-inch has a few extras. It has the express card slot, but really and truly it has the same basic design now. And that design includes this aluminum unibody chassis, which means it's cut from a single piece of metal, which makes it more durable. It has this soft black island keyboard here, which has been very comfortable. Same large multi-touch trackpad. So while we're over here, I'm just going to go over the ports very quickly. You have the AC adapter right here, where it's always been. You have an Ethernet jack, FireWire 800, mini DisplayPort for monitor output, 2 USB ports. Now, it's always been 2 USB, but we still say that it's just kind of stingy. I mean, my external hard drive alone would take up both of these at once, so I would like more USB ports next time, please. And an SD card slot. And as always, on the other side, all you have is the slot loading DVD burner. So in many ways, the design is basically the same as it's always been, but there's been a few slight improvements. Of course, there are spec changes, so you'll have refreshed processor and all of that. It has 2 gigs of RAM, which is usually fine for Leopard. It has a 160 gigabyte hard drive still, which we think is kind of small. I mean, netbooks come with 160 gigabyte hard drives, so we would encourage Apple to be a bit more generous with hard drive space. One thing it does have, it's always had an LED backlit display with a seamless glass-to-glass appearance, so the bezel is just as flat as the rest of the screen. But now the color gamut is 60% more robust, so it's an even more colorful display than the last. And I don't have it here, but we did a side-by-side comparison with the last generation 13-inch MacBook, and although that was a great display too, this just has even better contrast. The blacks look even blacker, the colors look punchier. The contrast is better. One problem, though, in our review was that this very highly reflective, glossy display really made for some poor viewing angles. So if you're on a plane and you dip this forward here, it's going to look very bright and washed out. You're not really going to see the picture. And ditto if you try and watch it from a very oblique side angle. Last thing about the MacBook Pro is the change in price. Our configuration costs $11.99. And that's a $100 price drop from the previous starting price. So it seems that Apple all across the board has started to realize that price, especially now given the economy, is really important. So you can get a Mac for cheaper than ever, and of course it's more powerful than the last generation. One of many reasons that we gave our previous editor's choice another editor's choice. That's it for our video review of Apple's 13-inch MacBook Pro. Read on for the full review at laptopmag.com.